Hi, I'm Coach Grethe. Welcome to my channel. Today we have a very special guest because I want to share something quite amazing with you. So I'm going to actually let him introduce himself. I would like to know what's your name and what do you do? Why are we here?
Thank you, Greta. It's great to be here and very happy to be in the space. My name's Jim and I do a bodywork modality called Dearmouring. Yeah.
Okay. What is Dearmouring?
Good question. So I hadn't heard about it myself until 2022 when I ended up doing the training, and it just came to me when I was doing a search online for a combination of trauma healing, body work, breath work, sound, movement, and touch as well.
Okay. So it sounds like a modality that combines a lot of different things into one.
Yes, yes. So I've always been interested in trauma healing, and so I wanted to kind of help people unwind trauma. And de-armoring, what it does is works on both the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual level. So it's more than just a massage, essentially. So on the physical level, through the touch, breath, and sound, we're moving energy, we're helping to bring more sort of blood flow to certain parts of the body. We're releasing tension in the fascia, the muscles, and the meridians. On an emotional level, we're helping to release stuck energy, stuck emotions. So emotions like fear, grief, anger, and shame. And on a mental level, we're helping to kind of reset our limiting beliefs around who we are as a person, trying to repattern certain behaviors so that we don't keep repeating the same behaviors in our relating with others. And yeah, on a spiritual level, it helps us to feel more alive about ourselves. And so when our cup is full, then we can obviously go out to the world and be a better human and bring more goodness to others as well.
Okay. That sounds really interesting. And you mentioned a few words that kind of lit up for me because it's what I'm working with as well. You mentioned, I don't know if you said trapped emotions, but that's the words I use. And you also mentioned like programming, subconscious programming, limiting beliefs. And I was wondering, because I have my modalities where I release these things. I release trapped negative emotions or limiting beliefs and then change them out with positive beliefs. And you're doing the same thing, but in a completely different way. So what will it look like when, like, let's say I have a feeling of fear and that comes up and is released. What does it look like?
Yeah, good question. So fear is usually stuck around the solar plexus, and so I'm working with releasing that energy, and also I'm working actively with the client. So yeah, the client is just not in a supine position where they're just like in a surrendered position. They are also active, they're breathing deeply. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and they could be moving. And when I feel something, I could then just say to the client, oh, I feel something here. What is it to you? And they might go into a memory,
Okay.
a past memory.
Yeah.
They might go into a story as well. So I just invite them to stay with their process, stay with their experience. Don't put too many words to it because we don't want to bring people into their heads. We
Yeah.
want to keep them in the body. So I keep saying, be in the present moment, be in your body, be with the experience. And then I'm just gradually, through the touch, moving it up towards the throat so that it can then be either vocalized, can come out through the breath, and then they can feel a lot lighter in that
Yeah.
area. Yeah.
Okay, I find that really interesting because I've done talk therapy. I still do, and I find it useful. I find that it helps me like sort out my thoughts and things. But what I find that it doesn't do is it doesn't really release anything. And from what I've learned, when you talk about something, you're kind of reliving it, so you're creating the same chemistry in your body, and you're strengthening your nervous system's memory of these things. So you're actually reinforcing it, which doesn't sound so good to me. But when you can combine it, when you can connect with it, and then actually actively move it through the body and out of the body, you actually get a release.
Yeah.
Which is what I do with my modalities as well. We release it. We name it and we release it. So you're just doing it a different way.
Yeah, there's different methods, different methodologies. It could be through
Yeah.
breath work, it could be through dance, it could be through some shamanic practices.
Yeah.
Plant medicine is perhaps healing for some, but this, for me, it all comes back to the body. That's where energy and emotions can be stuck, and trauma is held and coalesced within the fascia and the muscles. So, yeah, it's bringing it back to the body and helping to move it as well. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. Who is your typical client?
Typically, it's people who feel they're ready for this type of work. It's quite intimate work, so it's not for somebody that may think, oh, that looks great, let's try it, it may be really amazing, but they're not really ready to release negative belief patterns or some trauma. And sometimes I find that some clients who think they're ready then come along and we open up certain parts, certain portals and of the body, and we start to shift a lot of energy, and then they're like, oh, that's just a little bit too much. So then maybe need to take a pause. Typically, I see people who have had quite a lot of complex PTSD. Can be anything from emotional abuse, sexual abuse, neglect, abandonment, being shouted at a lot. And that sort of coalesces over time and imprints into the body. And they get to a certain age, could be typically in their 30s or 40s or 50s, where actually now that their world around them is a little bit more safe, then the body then starts to percolate and bring these things to the surface, and then they go, actually I need to look at this now. So that's when people find me.
Okay. What kind of problems would someone see in their life that sort of triggers them to come and see you? Like, what does it look like in relationships and so on?
Sometimes it's when people kind of hit rock bottom. It's not just the physical that goes, it's the emotional side. They're lacking in energy, they're lacking in verve and aliveness in their body. So they can maybe decide to kind of make some changes, some positive changes in their life. And I also do a lot around nervous system regulation. So what I'm trying to do is to reset the nervous system so that when they're in relationship, whether that be a physical one, an intimate one, or just like a deep friendship or a family member, when they're coming from an embodied place, they can then speak out. They can feel safe enough to say, actually, this doesn't feel good in my body. Can we just take a pause here? Can we just slow down? Can we take a breath?
Yeah.
So I'm retraining the nervous system to be able to go, okay, let's take a step back. Because what I find when people who are always active in their nervous system, then they're just going to respond in that active place where, you know, they'll fight fire with fire, anger with anger, and that doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't solve anything. So, yeah, so I'm getting them to kind of regulate, calm their system so that they can then vocalize from a place of embodiment.
You gave me an example earlier when we were walking here of someone you just worked with, and how could you share that with the
Yeah.
audience as well?
Yeah, sure.
I found that really
Yeah,
good.
so a recent client has had some sexual abuse and had some troubles with past relationships, which probably have stemmed from maybe childhood. And so what I do is to reset the nervous system. So I do a lot of work around boundary and consent. So I don't touch the client at all. I invite them to tell me or ask me when they're ready for me to touch them. So it'd just be very simple around maybe the forearms, the biceps, the hands, and we just they'll just ask me, please touch me there, and they'll also ask me tell me the quality of touch that they want, and then when they feel like they've had enough,
Yeah.
then they are at choice to say, remove your hand now.
Okay.
So that gives them the muscle flexion to be able to, in the moment, to slow everything down and to go, all right, I've had enough now, can you just move? And to know that they're safe to be able to do that. And there's obviously also a language as well of saying this, rather than just telling somebody just to get off, you're not being very kind. They just, when they're in an embodied place, they can just do it in a relaxed way so that the other person doesn't feel rejected as well.
That resonates, because I'm learning a lot about sexual communication and how to say things in a productive way and so on. And I'm actually taking this online course right now where I'm learning this. And she's saying like, if something hurts and you're like, oh, stop, then that can be a bit, you know, it kills the mood and all that. But I was thinking, when you're in that place and if something hurts or something feels uncomfortable, going from that like tense reaction to, in a calm way, say, hey, let's pause. I found that there was a gap there, and I feel like what you're saying is sort of bridging that gap, if that makes sense.
Well, the idea maybe is to try and do it before the activation arises. But that can be difficult, especially when somebody has been in a state of high alert for long periods of time, like could be like for years and years. And they know that abuse is about to happen, to be able to then just say something and then do it from a place of embodiment is actually quite difficult. So it's just doing this touch on, touch off, resetting the nervous system, expanding the window of tolerance. Keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that over a period of time. Then it just becomes a little bit more embedded into the nerve endings and in the system of the body, so that we can then try and do it when we're in the outside world.
It's like with any skill, you practice and then it becomes more automatic.
Yeah, exactly that.
Okay. Logistically, like how many sessions do someone usually have, or what is like usually what you recommend, and how long is the session, and what does it look like?
Wow.
That's
3
a
or
lot
4
in
questions.
one.
So typically clients come for up to 6 sessions. So the first session is a little bit longer. It's about 2.5 hours. It's an opportunity to get to know one another a little bit more and to see how well we work together. And then they typically will sign up for 5 sessions after that. But usually clients will see a change in how they relate, how things feel in their body after, say, 2, 3 or 4 sessions. So typically I'll work from base up, so externally from the pelvis to the navel to the solar plexus. Then I'm moving energy up towards the throat. So usually around about session 4, 5, 6, I'm working around the throat area. I can work inside the mouth in order to release some tension at the back of the throat, which you can't get to through external points. And that can look like tongue pulling, which is, yeah, that's actually quite painful. But the more you do it, the better it feels, actually. And after after doing it, you feel like you've got a lot more space in your mouth. It's quite interesting. Yeah.
Wow.
And it helps people to find their voice as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. So you said a session, the first one is like 2.5 hours, or the other one's a bit shorter
A
than?
bit shorter, yeah, about 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So the client comes in, we have a little check-in. Is there anything I need to know? Any pains? What's moving for you? Then we come down to the mattress, and we will start with some breath work, some grounding, some resourcing, and then we'll move into some vagus nerve activations, just to put the body into a parasympathetic state, because healing can only really happen and things can only come to the surface once you're in a rest and relaxation state. If you're on edge and tense, it's not going to move. All it's going to do is you're just compounding it, really. Yeah, so we do that, and then I invite the client to lie down, and it's invitation touch only. So I ask the client if it's okay to touch, and then I work usually body stretching, and I'll work around the pelvis and solar plexus and navel. Yeah.
Is this a session where you're clothed or you're naked, or how does that work?
You're clothed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got to bear in mind that I often see clients who have had some form of sexual abuse, and especially me being a man working with a female body, then they need to feel safe. Unless I'm working doing anything internal work, then they're fully clothed.
Okay, so that was my next question. Do you do any sort of internal work or work on the sex organs or anything like that?
Yeah, if the client wants it.
Yeah.
Typically, a lot of them do when they come to see me, but I won't usually work in that area until we get to around the 4th, 5th or 6th session.
Okay.
Yeah. And then by that point, the client may not want it anymore, which is totally fine. They're totally at choice.
Yeah.
And even if we are to do genital work on a particular session, before even going there, obviously I keep checking in to make sure they're okay with that.
Yeah.
And I work on all genders as well, so I work with male bodies as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else that we haven't touched on that someone who's curious about this should know about dearmoring?
Well, I mean, for me, the body work is a really beautiful practice, and it really helps clients to come back into the body. So my work is a lot around the nervous system, and it's a lot around enabling clients to really feel what's alive, what's moving in the body, to really notice any sensations. So after working with me for sort of 5 or 6 sessions, people go away feeling more grounded, then feel more in the body. They're able to make more intuitive choices around what they want and what they don't want to partners or friends or family. And yeah, they feel more expansive in their system and just feeling better in their whole way of being. Yeah.
Sounds like they feel more alive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
So this isn't something you would just do to improve your sex life or, spice up your juiciness or something. It's actually touching all the areas of your life.
Yeah. It's more of a healing modality, but there is obviously we do touch on the pleasure zones as well, but generally my work is more on the healing aspect, the unwinding of trauma, nervous system regulation and resilience, as opposed to like a tantric massage, you know, which is more on the pleasure side of the leg. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm here with Grethe. I have just given a Dearmouring session to her, and we're going to now ask some Q&A around how the session was for her.
Yeah, we're going to do our best, because as I just said, as I was setting up the camera, I was like, my brain is not working. I feel like I'm high. So definitely something shifted.
Right, okay. When you say you're high, do you also feel quite grounded as well?
I think I feel lighter in my body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel quite grounded and lighter in my body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, generally people can feel both grounded but also energized as well, because obviously energy is moved around the body, and you can feel a lightness as well.
I feel happier. Yeah. I feel like there's a layer that's been kind of peeled off, like a veil has been lifted. It's I feel more spacious, more open.
Certainly during the session, towards the end in fact, your voice became more resonant, deeper, more kind of like a bellow, and I really noticed that it was more diaphragmatic, so it was really from the bottom. Did you notice that as well?
Yeah, I could notice that it felt like I had more space to breathe. Yeah, and we were doing a lot of work around here, and I wasn't talking much. I was more voicing, but I had a lot of processes. So memories came in, you know, from like when I was a child and I was tickled and held down, and they wouldn't stop even if I said stop, and then I couldn't breathe.
Right.
So a lot of things around breathing kind of came up when you were working here.
Okay.
And then sadness and, you know, things around that.
Yeah. When I was working around top of the solar plexus and the diaphragm, I noticed there was quite a lot of tension there.
Yeah.
And I just invited you just to breathe into that.
Yeah.
Notice the connection and the energy between where my placement of my finger was and where you could breathe in and out from. Did that help to release some of the tension?
Yeah, it did. And I could really also feel how you were connected with my breath and how deep I was breathing, and how you were giving more if I was breathing more deeply and really exhaling. So that felt like a really good teamwork, you know?
Yeah, it's about co-regulation as well. So we're kind of one unified nervous system, and we're regulating together, which means that the client, yourself, can drop deeper into presence and deeper into your body as well to feel more.
Yeah, exactly, to feel more. And that was one of the insights I had towards the end, was also that how we hold so much, and I realized I hold so much. I thought I hold it all here, but I actually hold a lot here as well. And when it's released, it creates space to feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, on an emotional level as well as on energetic level, because the energy can go to areas and parts where it has been trapped and stuck. So consequently, there is that more
spacious,
heart-opening expansiveness.
And part of me was like, but do I want to feel more? Because this is pain, this is sadness, and I was like, do I want to feel that more? And I realized, yeah, I do, because I want to be sensitive to it. You know, I don't want to be desensitized, because if I can feel these things more and faster, I can course correct more.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean I'm going to be miserable. It means that I actually will have access to the messages from my body more.
And quicker as well. Yeah, this work is also befriending those emotions which are challenging for people to lean into. And once we do lean into and give permission to ourselves, saying it's actually okay to feel this, then consequently there's more opening.
It was really interesting because at some points I was like, oh, there's a lot of pain there. And as I said it, I was like, oh, okay, let's move on. But then you said, let's stay with that, breathe into that. So that reminder of staying with it was really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Often I can stay on a point for up to 2 minutes, giving the client the time to be able to release some of the stuck tension in the muscles and the fascia. And the more we kind of lean into it, the pain, the feeling of stuckness and uncomfortability, then the more that we can allow it to be free and not part of us anymore. Yeah. And like what you said about peeling back a layer, the deeper we go, the longer I work with clients, the more layers we peel back.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Mm.
I feel about the same as when I come out of a retreat or a festival, like a conscious space with people who are that kind of vibe. That's how I feel.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And there was some tears, wasn't there, as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and also the encouragement to let it come when you notice that something was coming up, and also the bringing it up. You gently just guided it up. That was really helpful. And also I noticed when you were giving different touch in different places, always asking permission. Felt really good for my nervous system. Felt really gentle and really safe, and just always knowing what was happening. I think that also really helped me relax. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if there's a touch which feels jarring, or you felt that it was inappropriate, or you weren't ready for it, then of course the body's going to contract, and if the body contracts, then nothing's going to be released.
Exactly.
It's just going to add to the issue.
So that safety is so important.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, it was really, really good. I was really impressed with the work that you did, and how, like, the effect of it, how I feel now.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it's really beautiful work. It's deep work. It's meeting somebody where they're at. It's deep relational work, and I'm just kind of the conduit, really, to guide somebody to be able to feel safe and met, to be able to release what no longer serves them. That's it for us today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you a picture of what dearmoring can be. And if you like this video, please hit like. And if you want more content like this, hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!